So here we continue to solve rational equations. And the first thing we're going to do is to factor the denominator here. So we need to factor this. Once we factor this, we're going to have y and y minus plus factors of 6 that subtract to 1 will be 3 and 2. So now that I have factored the denominators, those that I was able to factor, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. So I have 6 over y plus 2 minus 20y over y minus 3, y plus 2 equals y over y plus 2. Now we need to find the least common denominator. And I want everything that's in the denominator. And if it repeats, I'm only going to use it once. So that leaves me with y minus 3 times y plus 2. So the first term is missing the y minus 3. So I'm going to multiply it. Let's use green. Y minus 3 on top and bottom. The second term is not missing anything. And the third one again is missing y minus 3. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. And I am going to have 6 times y minus 3 over y plus 2 times y minus 3 minus 20y over y minus 3 y plus 2 equals y times y minus 3 over y plus 2 times y minus 3. Once I do that, and because I have an equation, all my denominators cancel. So then I'm going to rewrite the problem. Let's go. So I have 6 times y minus 3. 6 times y minus 3 minus 20y equals y times y minus 3. Y times y minus 3. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this right here and here as well. So I have 6y minus 18 minus 20y equals y squared minus 3y. Now I'm going to go ahead and solve and combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign first. So this will be this one and this one. So that's going to give me negative 14y minus 18 equals y squared minus 3y. I'm going to set it equal to 0 now. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 14 to both sides. 14y. Negative 18 equals y squared plus 11y. And I'm going to add the 18 to both sides. 0 equals y squared plus 11y plus 18. So now I need to find factors. So I need to factor again. I need to find factors of 18 that will add to 11. And that is going to be y plus 9, y plus 2. Since it's equal to 0, I need to set both set of parentheses equals to 0. And then solve. Now solve for the variable. So that means y is going to equal to negative 2 and to negative 9. Now I need to go back to the original equation and check. So I need to check, okay, if both are valid or one is not valid or both are invalid. So I have negative 2. If I take negative 2 and substitute it here, that's going to turn to 0. And so here it will turn to 0 as well. And I'm 100% sure it will turn here. But let's see, negative 2 squared gives you positive 2. And then you substitute negative 2 here, that's going to give you positive 4 plus 2, 0. So the negative 2, not good. Nope. Let's see negative 9. Negative 9, taking it here, plus 2 gives you negative 7. That's good. Same here. And if we want to check here, we have, is it negative? I'm sorry. Yeah, negative 9. Negative 9 squared minus 9 gives you 36 minus 9 minus 6. Well, we definitely see this is not going to be to 0. So, negative 9, yay! That one is good. Next example. Now in here, we're going to be solving formulas with rational expressions. So in these examples, you're going to be solving for a specific variable. Like the first one says, solve for little m. So this is the example we're given. I'm going to go ahead and write it here. This is b, big B, little m, little b. Little m plus big M. I'm going to start by putting it over 1. And I'm going to cross multiply. Alright. So then I have big M times little m plus big M equals little m, little b. Then I'm going to distribute. Because I need to get the little m outside of the parentheses. So I have big B, little m plus big B, big M equals little m, small little m. Now since I am solving for little m, I need to have all the little m's in the same side. So I'm going to minus b, b little m from both sides. So then I have big M, big B and big M, little m, small b, minus big B and little m. Here I'm going to factor little m. I know, why couldn't we use other variables? But sometimes they'll be like this. So we need to, work with them and know that we don't need to get confused. Okay, and the last step is going to be to divide by the set of parentheses. Big one. So we can leave little m by itself. And there we go it. We have successfully solved for little m. We divide it here. Okay, so make sure we are looking at the steps that we're doing. Let's see one other example. In this example, we're solving for y. So I'm going to start at the same for y, but y is already by itself. I think it meant x. Yeah, that's a mistake there. Solve for y, the problem is already done for us. Let's solve for x. Okay. Ooh. Or maybe we want to solve for d. No, let's solve for x. Okay. So I'm going to start it the same way. I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. Alright, so now I'm going to have y times x plus d equals 8x plus b. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute because I need to have the x outside of the parentheses. So it's going to be yx plus yd equals 8x plus b. Now I'm going to put all the x's on the same side of the equal sign so I can go ahead and factor. So I'm going to go ahead and minus yx minus yx. Have yd equals 8x plus b minus yx. I'm going to minus the b. yd minus b equals 8x minus yx. Now I'm going to factor the x term, the x out of these two terms. So I have yd minus b equals x times a minus y. And because I'm solving for x, I'm going to go ahead and divide by a minus y on both sides. That cancels. So I have x equals y d minus b over a minus y. We have to separately solve for x. Everything that we're doing here is, here we're combining line terms, it's the methods of solving for a specific variables, okay? So nothing too complicated. Yes, all the variables is moving things from one side to another. It could get messy, but if you're organized, you will have no problem. All right, so here we need to solve for r. Now the r is in the denominator, and we need to have this r in the numerator. So what we can do is find the least common denominator, and then multiply each denominator and numerator by what is missing. That way we can cancel all the denominators, and this way we're going to end up with the r at the top. So the least common denominator is going to be RST, everything that you have in the denominators. So the first term is missing the ST on both sides. The second term is missing the RT. And the last one missing RS. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply. So we have 5ST minus 3RT equals 2RS. And we're not going to write the denominators because once all denominators are the same, we can go ahead and cancel that. So we are solving for R. So we need to have the r's in the same side of the equal sign. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and add 3RT. Okay. This is going to cancel, so we're left with 5ST equals 2RS plus 3RT. Now because the r are here, we're going to factor that out. We're going to have r equals 2s plus 3t. And then we're going to go ahead and divide to both sides. That way the r is by itself. Cancels. So we have r equals 5st over 2s plus 3t. So we have to separately solve for r. So here we factor r, then we divide it. Here we combine the like terms. Alright. And the first thing we did, we find the LCD, which is what we did here. And that's it. Here, those were a few examples of solving rational equations.